जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय भक्ति चारु स्वामी गुरुदेवा भक्ति चारु स्वामी गुरुदेवा
Okay. Okay. All right. Jivanata samani damani namaste sharazadeva gurvani bijarne nirvisesa sanyadi paschitana sadarne vanchikapa juvasjaki pasiniveva tapati bhavani. Onama. Jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaja Ki Jai. Anyway, I'm very happy to be here on this very sad and unexpected occasion, but always glorious because of Bhakti Caru Swami. I've known him for 40 years or more. And I've always been impressed from the first time I met him out in San Francisco around 1980 by his gentlemanly demeanor and his total dedication to Srila Prabhupada and to ISKCON. So it's been a great pleasure to have his association over the years. My wife, of course, is Bengali, so they get along very well. And Maharaj, whenever I was in Mayapur, Maharaj would always ask me to come for prasadam. So that was always nice to go up to his place and be overfed with the mercy of his prasadam. So, and also, you know, we would meet every time in Mayapur, and I had the pleasure of going to Ujjain for the temple opening there. Many people, many important people came from the surrounding area out of respect for Maharaj and the work that he was doing in Ujjain. So it was very nice to see all of them, and they were all so appreciative of Maharaj's demeanor and his gentlemanly, saintly behavior. And he was always like that. He was just very steady. So I was very lucky to have his association. And especially in the last couple of years or more, he's been very involved with helping us with the TOVP. So he's given us donations from his own collection that has come in. And he's helped us on many tours. And actually this spring, we were scheduled to tour around the US to visit various temples to solidify the pledges that were made many years ago. So we're all looking forward to getting together and traveling with Maharaj. But of course, Krishna has his own plans, so we've had to adjust. And on a very personal level, I will miss his association greatly, because, I always like to see his smiling face. He was always very steady, as I said before. So I'll be missing his association. And because he helped us so much with the TOVP and was so supportive, the TOVP would like to offer to assist his disciples in building his samadhi in Mayapur. We'd like to offer the facilities of Cushman and Wakefield to help them design and build the samadhi in Mayapur. And, whatever else we can do, we'll provide materials from our construction site, whatever else we can do to help them build the samadhi. We're very, very happy to reciprocate with Maharaj in that manner. And in that way, donations that come from Maharaj's disciples can be put in a fixed deposit, and that money can be used to maintain the samadhi, because maintenance is a whole other issue. So the money that comes in, donations from his disciples and well-wishers, can be put aside and be used for maintenance. So it's our great pleasure at the TOVP to be able to offer this humble reciprocation with Maharaj. We will certainly miss him greatly, both on a personal level and from the TOVP. And I hope that I can see him again someday at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
It's a sad day to be joining the ceremony to I think that now is a time for us to really take those instructions that we read in Prabhupada's offering of the Srimad Bhagavatam to his spiritual master to heart. And that instruction is that he lives forever by his instructions, and his disciples live with him, or his followers live with him. And this is the case with His Holiness Bhakti Caru Maharaj as well. Although it is with great misfortune that we will not have his personal association, his instructions and his example will live for us to get forever. And for myself, Bhakti Caru Maharaj was always an example of intense affection and intense dedication to Srila Prabhupada. And I saw that exhibited the first time I had a personal interaction with Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaja, and that was in the summer of 1977 in Vrindavan, when we were all serving here, and Srila Prabhupada was bringing his pastimes in this world to an end. Many times while sitting in Srila Prabhupada's room, I would observe how when Prabhupada needed some comfort, when Prabhupada needed somebody to speak to very closely, when Prabhupada wanted to hear, the loving words of one of his disciples, he would call Bhakti Caru Maharaj, and they would sit and they would speak very sweetly and intimately in the Bengali language. And on August 28, 1977, this was the evening that His Divine Grace left Vrindavan to go for his last preaching tour in the West. We know that Srila Prabhupada only made it as far as London, and then he returned to India. So Srila Prabhupada left that evening. He left very early in the morning, and he took his car to Delhi to take the flight out. And the next morning I went to Srila Prabhupada's kitchen to clean the kitchen. And when I walked inside, I found Bhakti Caru Maharaj. And he was sitting in the kitchen with his head in his hands, and he was just crying and crying and crying. And I asked him, I said, "What is the problem?" And he explained to me how he had been meant to travel with Srila Prabhupada, but unfortunately his passport was not ready, so he couldn't travel. And I could really see this devotee, how much dedication and how much feeling of love and desire to serve he had for His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. And I saw that same dedication and I saw that same spirit of service for the next 43 years. Maharaj used to tell me sometimes when I would, tell him that I felt challenged by something, he would say that if Lord Krishna gives his mercy, even an ant can become a Brahma. And I saw how he had that mercy of Srila Prabhupada, he had that mercy of Krishna, that he did so many glorious things for our society. He did so many glorious things for individual devotees. He made so many sterling first-class disciples throughout the world, many of whom I can say are some of my closest friends. I think something that will come up time and time again is that Bhakti Caru Maharaja was a perfect gentleman. Now, I don't know if it's been written, but when I was young, I heard that Srila Prabhupada said that the definition of a Vaishnava is that he's a perfect gentleman. And that was Maharaj's nature. He always lived in Vaishnava Sadachar. He always acted in Vaishnava Sadachar. When you were with Maharaj, you felt like, all the time in the world had come to a stop, and you felt like you were the most important person in this world because he was giving you so much true undivided attention and care and affection. And I might say that in the 43 years,
I have unmuted you now.
in the 43 years that I knew Maharaj, he was always very kind and very compassionate to me. So I, along with the rest of ISKCON, will deeply miss having Maharaj's association, having him cast a smile upon me, having him give me one of his big embraces, having him invite me for prasadam in his room that was always an event that we looked forward to all year long. And I pray that one day I will be reunited with Maharaj, that I can see him and serve him and learn from him again. And for me, there's one important message that comes through in a situation like this, is that we're surrounded by a galaxy of wonderful, advanced Vaishnavas in our ISKCON society. And we see the wonderful exemplary activities that they perform. And many times we never express our appreciation for them. It's just like now I think, gosh, who knew that Bhakti Caru Maharaj would be finishing his activities in this world and going back to join Srila Prabhupada and engaging according to Krishna's desire. Certainly if I had known, I would have told him how much I appreciate and how much I love him. And in the same way, I think all of us, we should start getting into the habit of not waiting till the Vaishnava leaves this world, but we should start showing our appreciation and we should start showing our love in advance. We should learn how to pay that forward and really let the Vaishnavas know that we care and we love them for the wonderful sacrifices that they've made in the service of Srila Prabhupada. So I thank you all very much. I'm sure that many wonderful remembrances of Bhakti Caru Maharaj will come forward this evening, and we should relish those remembrances and keep those remembrances close to our heart, and let those remembrances give us inspiration in the development of our faith and our spiritual masters and our ongoing devotional service to Radha and Krishna. I pray for Bhakti Caru Maharaj's mercy, and I pray for the mercy of all the assembled Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaja ki jai.
Keep it close. Thank you, Govinda Maharaj, very much. And thank you, Ambarish Prabhu, very much for speaking. So the next speaker will be Jayapataka Maharaj.
আমি বলতে চাই যে আমাদের পক্ষে একটা মহা দুর্ভাগ্যজনক একটি সংবাদ যে আমরা আমাদের কাছে তার আমাদের কাছে পাওয়া যাবে না। ভক্তি চারু স্বামী মহারাজ ছিলেন দৃষ্টান্ত। কিসের দৃষ্টান্ত? গাঢ় স্নেহ দৃষ্টান্ত। প্রথমবার যখন তার শ্রীল প্রভুপাদ তারপর তিনি বিদেশে চলে গেলেন। তো বিদেশে যাওয়ার সময় আমি যেদিন শ্রীল প্রভুপাদ বিদেশে চলে যান সেই দিন আমি রান্নাঘরে গেছি শ্রীল প্রভুপাদের যে তিনি করে অঝরে কেঁদে চলেছেন। আমি তাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করলাম যে আপনি কাঁদছেন কেন? তিনি বললেন যে আমার পাসপোর্ট তৈরি হয়নি, তো সেই জন্য আমার সাথে যাওয়া হলো। আমি তখন মনে ভাবলাম এই ভক্তের প্রভুপাদের প্রতি এত নিষ্ঠা, প্রভুপাদের প্রতি এত উৎসর্গিত প্রাণ, এবং সেই উৎসর্গিত আমি পরবর্তী 43 বছর ধরে একই ভাবধারা আমি দেখতে পেরেছি। তিনি একবার আমাকে বলেছিলেন যে ভগবান শ্রীকৃষ্ণের কৃপায় এমনকি সামান্য ক্ষুদ্র পিঁপড়ে পর্যন্ত ব্রহ্মা পদবী লাভ করতে পারেন। আমি দেখেছিলাম মহারাজের মধ্যে কৃষ্ণ সেই আশীর্বাদ করেছিলেন। তিনি ছিলেন একজন সুন্দর ফার্স্ট ক্লাস ভদ্রলোক, এবং তার কাছে অনেক সুন্দর সুন্দর এবং তার শিষ্যত্ব বরণ করেছেন। শ্রীল ভক্তি চারু স্বামী মহারাজ তিনি ছিলেন একজন পারফেক্ট জেন্টলম্যান, পারফেক্ট ভদ্রলোক। তো আমি শুনেছিলাম ছোট থাকতে যে শ্রীল প্রভুপাদ নাকি একসময় বলেছিলেন যে একজন বৈষ্ণব হবেন পারফেক্ট জেন্টলম্যান। তো বৈষ্ণব তার সদাচারে বেঁচে থাকেন, তার ব্যবহারে বেঁচে থাকেন, তার স্নেহ যত্নে তিনি বেঁচে থাকবেন। এবং আমি গভীরভাবে তার সঙ্গ, তার হাসি, তার আলিঙ্গন, তার ঘরে প্রসাদ পাওয়া, এগুলি অত্যন্ত মিস করব। আমি ভিক্ষা চাইছি তার কাছে যেন তার সাথে আমরা আবার যুক্ত হতে পারি। একটা চমৎকার বার্তা যে বৈষ্ণবদের দ্বারা সমাবৃত হয়ে অনেকবার প্রশংসিত হয়ে তিনি এই জগৎ ছাড়বেন সেরকম নয়। আমরা জানতাম না, কে জানতো যে শ্রীল ভক্তি চারু স্বামী মহারাজ এইভাবে ফিরে যাবেন। সেই জন্য আমরা এবার বৈষ্ণবদেরকে তাদের চলে যাওয়া অপেক্ষা করবো না, তাদের
Hare Krishna. Srila Bhakti Caru Maharaja ki Jai.
You bring him on the screen. Guru Maharaj, please get ready. Shamrasik Prabhu, please make Guru Maharaj ready.
So, will someone translate into Bengali? At the end of, huh? Huh?
Suchitendra Prabhu is translating over there.
At the end of,
At the end, Guru Maharaj.
someone I should speak English?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
So, saw the 2012 Yes Puja offering of His Holiness Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaj. He was, please take me away and let me serve you. And if you refer to that, it's quite revealing. And even at this date, he was very much focused on serving Srila Prabhupada personally. Actually, I knew him from when he was a bhakta in Mayapur, Bhakti Caru, and I felt he was a very special devotee and that Prabhupada would like him a lot. That was true that Prabhupada immediately in his translation work and Prabhupada. And for personal secretaries, that was not needed. They could, at one time in the morning, offer, but he would offer every time. He was very much dedicated to Srila Prabhupada. How much he was attached to Srila Prabhupada, maybe you start to understand now. When I saw his lecture in Ujjain before leaving to America, I thought this was some kind of yoga maya. This is some kind of ecstasy, because the GBC had just resolved to cancel the midterm meetings in Pune because it was too dangerous to travel during this pandemic. But he was saying how he wanted to, just as Prabhupada went to the West, he wanted to go to the West. And I felt, I couldn't sleep that night. I felt that Prabhupada was calling him back. And seeing it, it was the offering of 2012, it became evident that he was very much like a personality who came just to serve Srila Prabhupada. And for me, he was always very kind. Maybe I committed offenses to him. I don't know. I pray for his forgiveness if I commit any offense. My secretary reminded me that after the Puri Brikama, we had taken bath in the Rio Bengal Ocean, and there he lost his Brahmin thread. And he asked me for chanting on one. I chanted on a thread and gave to him. And in 2018, after I had my liver and kidney transplant operation, they had taken off my Brahmin thread, and I had no thread. I asked His Holiness Bhakti Caru Swami to chant on one and give me one. So he was wearing my thread, and I'm wearing his thread. So today, I'm wearing his thread. So his leaving was, and he had the best medical team. We had devotee, something were praying. We got, since he wanted to go back to Srila Prabhupada, I mean, he had 8 years of his association after he prayed that he would go back to Srila Prabhupada. But somehow, he was very kind, and he started. In fact, in my community, I think everybody, it's a great loss. We used to preach to our Grihastas, our brahmacharis, our Sankirtan devotees. He was chanting in our Kirtan melas, and every respect, he was active in our community and giving his love and devotion. And definitely we all feel his absence today, separation. But we know that he lives on and he's serving Prabhupada, and we are very appreciative of that. But like Acharya was angry at Jagannath that when he came to see his Guru Yamunacharya, that Yamunacharya had left just before he came. He was angry why the Lord took him away. Oh, maybe some devotees are feeling why the Lord took him away, but after seeing the offering of 2012, I realized that he always wanted to serve Prabhupada, and he was serving in separation, but actually he wanted to serve personally. So I think there are many devotees that will share different pastimes of Srila Bhakti Caru Swami. Prabhupada said he's always held the TLVP, and in various ways he's helped all of us. And he's been right after. He's our cultural minister, and he taught, and he gave an aspect of devotee care in a very exemplary way. So, on this day, I just want to say how great a friend and God brother he was. As Narottam Das Thakur saying, Ramachandra Sangamangre Narottam Das. And that way, we also need good association. And Bhakti Caru Swami is giving that loving association to so many of us. And I personally am very much devastated by his separation. Somehow, I feel encouraged to know that he's serving Prabhupada, but we miss him a lot, and we hope that his disciples will be inspired to carry on his legacy of devotee care, of spiritual service of our father Acharya, and we want to offer them all support, all help, and their great service. Keep the legacy of His Holiness Bhakti Caru Swami alive, keep that ever present. I hope that all the temples in ISKCON, whether they have his disciples or not, they should participate in his special Smarana Utsava Smriti Sala to remember the great qualities of someone who was amongst us. Hare Krishna.
শ্রদ্ধাঞ্জলি করে শ্রীমৎ ভক্তি চারু স্বামী মহারাজ তিনি লিখেছেন, এবং সেখানে তিনি লিখেছেন, শ্রীল প্রভুপাদ দয়া করে আপনি আমাকে আবার আপনার সেবায়, আপনার ব্যক্তিগত সেবায় আমাকে আবার অধিকার দিন, আবার গ্রহণ করুন। প্রকৃতপক্ষে আমি তাকে নতুন ভক্ত হিসেবে ব্যক্তিগত যে সচিব এবং শিষ্যগণ ছিলেন, সেই গোষ্ঠীর মধ্যে প্রভুপাদ তাকে গ্রহণ করলেন এবং শিল প্রভুপাদ তাকে অন্যান্য অনুবাদ অন্যান্য বিভিন্ন সেবায় তিনি তাকে গ্রহণ করেছেন। যেমন গোবিন্দ মহারাজ বলেছেন যে তার যে শিল প্রভুপাদের প্রতি উৎসর্গ, যে নিবেদিত প্রাণ, সেটা আমরা হয়তো এখন হয়তো আমরা বুঝতে শুরু করব। আমার ভিডিও যখন আমি দেখি যে তিনি
উজ্জয়িন থেকে যখন তিনি আমেরিকায় যাবেন, তার আগে যে ভিডিওটা যখন আমি দেখলাম, তখন আমার মনে হলো যেন যোগ মায়া, তিনি এক রকমের ভগবত প্রেম বা ভগবত প্রেমে উদ্বুদ্ধ হয়ে রয়েছেন, এক্সটেসি, ভাবে উদ্বুদ্ধ হয়ে আছেন, আমার এরকম মনে হয়েছে। আমি তখনই অনুভব করছিলাম যে তিনি যে প্রকৃত বৈকুণ্ঠের একজন ব্যক্তিত্ব, সেটা বুঝতে পারলাম যে হ্যাঁ, শিল প্রভুপাদ হয়তো তাকে ডাকছেন। যদি আমি কোনো রকম তার চরণে অপরাধ করে থাকি, তাহলে আমি তার কাছে ক্ষমা চাইছি, তিনি যেন আমাকে ক্ষমা করে দেন। একবার তিনি স্নান করতে গিয়ে তিনি তার পৈতা হারিয়ে ফেলেন, তার পৈতা জলের মধ্যে চলে যায়। তখন তিনি আমাকে বলেছিলেন যে পৈতায় মন্ত্র পাঠ করে দিতে এবং সেই পৈতা তিনি আমার কাছ থেকে নিয়ে তিনি পড়েছিলেন। ঠিক তেমনিভাবে যখন 2018 সালে আমার কিডনি প্রতিস্থাপন হয়, তখনও চিকিৎসার কারণে আমার পৈতা ছিল না। যখন শ্রীমৎ ভক্তি চারু স্বামী মহারাজ আসেন, তখন আমি তার কাছ থেকেও আমি বললাম যে আমার পৈতা নেই। তখন উনি আমাকে মন্ত্র পাঠ করে আমাকে একটা পৈতা দিলেন। অতএব আমি তার পৈতা এখনো পড়ে আছি এবং তিনি আমার পৈতা পড়েছিলেন। তো আমরা বুঝতে পারবো না, ভক্তরা বুঝতে পারবে না, তিনি আমাদের মাঝে 8 বছর ধরে ছিলেন। শিল প্রভুপাদের কাছে তিনি তার নিবেদন পেশ করার পরেও। তো এই হচ্ছে আমাদের সৌভাগ্য যে আমরা তার সঙ্গ লাভ করেছি। বাস্তবে মায়াপুরের ব্রহ্মচারীরা, মায়াপুরের কমিউনিটির ভক্তরা, তারা তাকে সবসময় মিস করবে। তার কারণ তিনি কীর্তন মেলাতে কীর্তন করতেন, তিনি খুব সুন্দর পাঠ করতেন। ব্রহ্মচারী সংকীর্তনের ভক্তরা যখনই প্রয়োজন হতো তার কাছে ছুটে যেতেন এবং তিনি তাদেরকে সাহস দিতেন, তাদেরকে অনুপ্রেরণা দিতেন, তাদেরকে বোঝাতেন এবং তাদেরকে ভক্তি জীবনে চালিয়ে যাওয়ার জন্য তিনি তাদেরকে বল প্রদান করতেন। যমুনাচার্যের ঘটনা জানা যায় যে রামানুজাচার্য খুব দুঃখ করেছিলেন যে আমার গুরুদেব তিনি আমার জন্য একটু অপেক্ষা করলেন না। ভগবান কৃষ্ণের উপরে তিনি রাগ করছিলেন যে কৃষ্ণ আমার গুরুদেবকে আর একটা মুহূর্তের জন্য রাখতে পারলেন না যাতে আমি তাকে দর্শন করতে পারতাম। তো 2012 সালের শ্রদ্ধাঞ্জলি থেকে আমি বুঝতে পারলাম শিল ভক্তি চারু স্বামী মহারাজ তিনি শিল প্রভুপাদের ব্যক্তিগত সেবার জন্য তিনি কতটা উদ্গ্রীব হয়ে রয়েছেন। যাই হোক, আমাদের সকলের জন্য তিনি চিরকাল একজন দৃষ্টান্তমূলক ভক্ত হয়ে থাকবেন। কিভাবে ভক্তদের যত্ন নিতে হয় সেই বিষয়ে তিনি ছিলেন ইসকনের কালচারাল মিনিস্টার। তো এই সংস্কৃতি, এই বৈষ্ণব সংস্কৃতির তিনি মূর্তমান পুরুষ ছিলেন। তিনি আমাদের বন্ধু ছিলেন, গুরুভ্রাতা ছিলেন। যেমন নরোত্তম দাস ঠাকুর গেয়েছেন, রামচন্দ্র সঙ্গ মাগে নরোত্তম দাস। আমরাও ঠিক তেমনিভাবে তার বিরহ আমরা সব সময় অনুভব করব, আমরা তাকে সব সময় মিস করব। আশা করি তার সমস্ত শিষ্যগণ তার যে স্থাপিত বা তার দ্বারা তিনি যে দৃষ্টান্ত দেখিয়ে গেছেন ভক্তদের যত্নের ব্যাপারে এবং তার যে ধারা সেইদের যে ধারা সহায়তা প্রয়োজন তার শিষ্যদেরকে আমি বলছি আমরা তোমাদের পাশে আছি এবং আমরা তার ধারাকে আমরা জীবিত রাখব, উজ্জীবিত রাখব চিরকালের জন্য। আমি আশা করছি এবং আমি অনুরোধ করছি ইসকনের সব মন্দিরে সেখানে তার শিষ্যরা থাকুক বা না থাকুক, তাদের এই স্মরণ উৎসব, এই স্মৃতি উৎসব তাদের উদযাপন করা উচিত। এবং আমাদের মাঝে এমন একজন মহান বৈষ্ণব ছিলেন, এই জন্য তার এই উৎসব আমাদের অবশ্যই করা উচিত, এই উৎসব পালন করা উচিত। হরে কৃষ্ণ।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Jaya Pataka Swami.
অশেষ ধন্যবাদ শ্রী শ্রীমৎ জয় পতাকা স্বামী মহারাজ।
Our next speaker on Zoom is Sachinandan Maharaj.
আমাদের পরবর্তী বক্তা জুমের মাধ্যমে হচ্ছেন শ্রী শ্রীমৎ সচিনন্দন, মাধ্যমে হচ্ছেন শ্রী শ্রীমৎ সচিনন্দন স্বামী মহারাজ।
He is ready from his side. Please put him on the screen and
এই স্মৃতি
allow him
উৎসব
to speak.
তাদের উদযাপন করা উচিত এবং আমাদের মাঝে এমন একজন মহান বৈষ্ণব ছিলেন, এই আমাদের অবশ্যই করা উচিত, এই উৎসব পালন করা উচিত।
Sachinandan Maharaj, please unmute yourself and start.
Upadaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyade Satarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavrinda. My dear devotees, my dear friends, and all of you who are viewing this live emission of the memorial ceremony of His Holiness Bhakti Caru Maharaj. I think we are all overwhelmed by grief, and we move between two alternatives. At one time we think it can't be true that Bhakti Caru Maharaj has left us. Then the news are there and we cannot deny them, and they reach our heart and we are thinking, oh my God, we are really bereft of his presence. For me, it is still not easy to accept that he is not with us. Yesterday, I watched the Zoom conference when his body was there in the funeral chamber of the Funeral Institute. And I found myself reaching out to him and say, please rise, please stand up, please talk to us, please smile. This will be much better than just going away so suddenly and and much too soon. So we are wrestling still with the two ideas. Oh, Maharaj, you're so kind-hearted, you're so good. Please, it can't be true that you have left. Not in such a way. And the other side in us has to come to grips, to an understanding that, yes, such a kind-hearted Vaishnava, such a very close and dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada, has left us. It is not easy for anyone who knows Bhakti Caru Maharaj and who loved him to accept that he has now finally left. At this time, I would like to say how Srila Prabhupada commented on the departure of a Vaishnava. I have written it down, so I will read it to you. He says, people with a poor fund of knowledge, people who don't understand properly, they do not know the difference between the death of a devotee and the death of a non-devotee. In this connection, an example can be given. A cat carries its kittens in its mouth, and it also catches a rat in its mouth. Superficially, the catching of the rat and the kitten appear to be one and the same, but actually they are not. When the cat catches the rat in its mouth, it means death for the rat. Whereas when the cat catches the kitten enjoys it. When I was in Mumbai, I once saw, I was on my way to the temple in Juhu Beach Temple, Radha Rasa Bihari Mandir. I was going and I saw it was early in the morning, dark, and a rat was going. Then all of a sudden, from an entry of one of these houses, a cat came and he broke the neck of the rat and killed it. That is how death is for a non-devotee. Death comes and jumps on the non-devotee, and it's a dramatic event with a lot of anxiety and pain for the non-devotee. Then I saw that the same cat was going inside the entrance of this house. It was returning, and from a cardboard box, it took one of the kittens, small cat, and carried it so lovingly with the same mouth. Sorry, from here to there. And it was such a loving scene. So in the same way, when Krishna comes in the form of death to a dear devotee of his, then he carries the devotee lovingly. He carries him to the next destination. I think we all feel that because Bhakti Caru Maharaj was so focused with his mind on the service of Srila Prabhupada, that Krishna must have carried Bhakti Caru Maharaj to the service of Prabhupada, wherever Prabhupada is serving at the moment, and to the service of Radha and Krishna. Yes, from our side, it also looks dramatic to witness the death of a devotee, the departure of a devotee. We are overwhelmed and we cannot come to grips with this. And we wake up in the morning and ask, is it true? Is it true? And when we are alone, we cry. But please know that our Bhakti Caru Maharaj has been carried by the Lord to his next service. When I think of Bhakti Caru Maharaj, I think of many, many things. How he used to come to Germany regularly, and I became his translator. He spoke in English and I translated it into the German language. Maharaj traveled in Switzerland and in Austria and gave many public programs. And all this, at the end of the public programs, the people were charmed. And I asked him, Maharaj, when I give a public program, sometimes people are very upset with me. How is it that they are always charmed when you speak? And he said, Prabhupada's mercy. I can remember many things, how we were going with the car and then stopping the car near a field, and how we ate a simple prasadam with bread and butter and some tomatoes and cucumbers. I can remember how Bhakti Caru Maharaj said, let us go to Sweden. Harikesh Maharaj is not well. Let us encourage him. I can remember many, many instances of, going to programs which were arranged in libraries where people were full, there was a full capacity of holding, and people bought German Gitas and Bhagavatams. But there is one memory, one single memory, which stands out from all these other memories. It is a memory which I will keep. It was in Wiesbaden, near Frankfurt, and we had just arrived from driving a long way, because in the evening there would be a program in the Namhata Center, and many other Namhata centers were coming to listen to Maharaj. So we had just arrived, and our hosts had prepared some prasadam, and we had eaten together, Maharaj and myself. And then we had retired into a room where we were lying on the left side, our head like this over the ground, and we were digesting and also speaking with each other. And I asked Maharaj, please tell me of your conviction in Krishna consciousness. Why have you become a devotee and joined the ISKCON movement? And he said he was looking for a guru, and then he came to the Calcutta temple, and he wanted to buy a Bhagavad Gita, but there was no Gita in store. Only there was one book, Nectar of of Devotion in English. And he read it was gifted to him as a gift, and he read the book the whole night. He could not stop. And then when he fell asleep, then in the morning when he woke up, he continued to read the book. He did not, he was so fascinated, he did not do anything else than just reading the Nectar of Devotion. And afterwards, it was clear that I have found my Guru. I have found Srila Prabhupada. So then he visited the temple, and then later he decided to join it. And now this is what Maharaj said. I went to the Ganga. I found some barber who could shave my head. Then I put all my old cloth together. I made a string around the cloth, and I threw it into the Ganga. Some poor man will find it and will use it. I took my bath and I prayed, I will give my life now to Srila Prabhupada. In a way, my dear devotees, this is a symbolic gesture to shave one's hair, to give up one's old garments, cloth, means I will now start a new life. It is almost like dying. Dying before death. It is a very common subject, to die before you die. What this means is your ego, your old identifications go. And he has never returned. He told me that once he met Srila Prabhupada in his room. Hari Sori was massaging Srila Prabhupada. And then Bhakti Caru Maharaj read some letters in Hindi and Bengali, which had arrived for Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada told him, answer like this, answer like this, answer like this. But when that was finished, Bhakti Caru Maharaj didn't want to leave the room. He wanted to stay with Srila Prabhupada as long as possible. But then Prabhupada looked at him and he said one thing which very much convinced our Maharaj. He said, give this one life to Krishna. Just give this one life to Krishna. For so many lifetimes, you have tried to enjoy, but you were not satisfied. Now, give this one life to Krishna. This is something which Bhakti Caru Maharaj in his lectures, when he spoke to devotees, would repeat, just give this one life to Krishna. You have tried to enjoy separately from Krishna and were never satisfied. Even you tried many lives, but now give this one life to Krishna. This was what Srila Prabhupada instructed him, and he has done this gloriously. I would like to come to an end by remembering one other thing he had shared with me. Once, Srila Prabhupada, when he was in Mayapur, received an invitation from the priests who managed the Shripad of Mahesh Pandit. Who was Mahesh Pandit? He was a dear associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This place was 50 kilometers or so away from Sridham Mayapur. And Prabhupada went with his ambassador. It had this color, maroon, this type of color, and took Bhakti Caru Maharaj with him. And there was a little, it was a Bengali village, simple villagers were there. And Srila Prabhupada preached to them, Jadadeko Tarakaha Krishna Upadesh, Amar Agyan Guru, Aya Tara E Desh. You are knowing the Bengali language very nicely, so you must, I'm trying. So he Prabhupada encouraged these simple villagers that please, you all become preachers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Then Bhakti Caru Maharaj reflected, yes, this is Prabhupada's desire, that everyone, even simple villagers from Bengali village, the people would never go to America. They will never think of maybe even going to Calcutta. It is too far. But Prabhupada said, you all preach. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. And I would like to encourage all of you who listen to this, that this was Maharaj's understanding. He came, as Jayapataka Maharaj has reminded us, to America. He left safe Ujjain temple and went to America because he felt this was Prabhupada's desire, that he preach Krishna consciousness. So this is what I want to request you also. Those of you who sit in the memorial, those of you who have some heart for Srila Prabhupada and Bhakti Caru Maharaj, please understand, become a preacher. Some of us may be a small bird, like a sparrow. We can only fly in the courtyard. Others can fly from country to country. Yet others can fly from continent to continent. Whatever is your capacity, even if you are a simple person who can only preach to the neighbor, please follow the legacy that was left behind by Bhakti Caru Maharaj, and also become a preacher and give this one life to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. His example will always be remembered by ISKCON. I think there will be no one who can fill his place, but he will live on in our movement if we can follow his example. I thank you very, very much for listening. I will now get off the computer and watch the rest of the program. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhakti Caru Maharaja ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna.
Please be ready. Straight after the translation.
Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaja ভাষণ আমার প্রিয়
আপনারা যারা লাইভ দেখছেন, নিঃসন্দেহে আপনারা সকলে এই শোকে কাতর। আমরা সকলেই একবার ভাবছি না, এ ঘটনা সত্যি হতে পারে না, কিন্তু আবার পরক্ষণে আমরা সত্যকে অস্বীকার করতে পারি না। আমার পক্ষেও এখনো সম্ভব হচ্ছে না। গতকাল দেখলাম মহারাজকে যখন মহারাজের সেই অন্ত্যেষ্টি ক্রিয়ায় সেখানে অন্ত্যেষ্টি ভবনে মহারাজকে দেখানো হলো, মহারাজ সেখানে শায়িত আছেন। আমি দেখছি আর আমি মনে মনে ভাবছি, আমি মহারাজকে বলছি, মহারাজ এ হতে পারে না, দয়া করে দাঁড়িয়ে পড়ুন, মহারাজ আপনি একটু হাসুন, আমরা আপনাকে হাসতে দেখি, আপনি হাত দেখান আমাদেরকে। কিন্তু ও মহারাজ, আপনি এইভাবে আমাদেরকে ছেড়ে চলে যেতে পারেন না। কিন্তু এটাও বাস্তব যে তিনি আমাদের ছেড়ে চলে গেছেন। যারা তাকে চিনতেন, যারা তাকে জানতেন, আমরা জানি যে তিনি আমাদের থেকে চিরবিদায় নিয়েছেন। এই ব্যাপারে শিল প্রভুপাদ একটি কথা বলেছেন যে যারা অল্প বুদ্ধিমান, যারা অল্প জ্ঞানী, তারা বোঝে না ভক্তের মৃত্যু আর অভক্তের মৃত্যুর মধ্যে কি পার্থক্য। বেড়াল তার শাবক ও ইঁদুর দুইকেই মুখে করে নিয়ে যায়, কিন্তু দেখতে একই রকম দেখালো, ইঁদুরের জন্য তা মৃত্যু এবং শাবকের জন্য তা হচ্ছে এক আনন্দময় স্নেহময় অভিজ্ঞতা। জু মন্দিরের পাশ দিয়ে যাচ্ছিলাম, আমি একদিন এই বিড়ালের এই কাহিনী আমি দেখেছিলাম। তো ভক্তকেও ভগবান এইভাবেই নিয়ে যান, দেখতে মনে হবে মৃত্যুর মতন, কিন্তু এখান থেকে সেখানে নিয়ে যাচ্ছে, যেমন বিড়াল শাবক নিয়ে যায় তার বাচ্চাকে। কিন্তু যখন অভক্তের কাছে মৃত্যু আসে তা এক ভয়ঙ্কর পরিস্থিতি, কিন্তু ভক্তের কাছে যেন কৃষ্ণ স্বয়ং মহারাজকে শিল প্রভুপাদের সেবায় পৌঁছে দিচ্ছেন। তো যখন একা থাকি তখন আমি কান্না করি, নিশ্চিতভাবে আপনারাও হয়তো একলা যখন থাকেন কান্না করছেন, কিন্তু আপনারা নিশ্চিতভাবে জানুন যে শিল প্রভুপাদের সেবায় তিনি যুক্ত হয়েছেন। এবং আমার সৌভাগ্য হয়েছিল মহারাজকে নিয়ে আমরা বিভিন্ন জায়গায়, আমরা অস্ট্রিয়াতে, সুইডেনে আমরা প্রোগ্রাম করেছি, আমি তার অনুবাদক হয়েছিলাম। তো আমি যখন কথা বলতাম দর্শকরা রাগ করতো, কিন্তু মহারাজ যখন বলতেন তারা কান পেতে শুনতেন। আমি মহারাজকে বলতাম, তারপর আমরা মাঠের মাঝখান দিয়ে যাচ্ছি, আমরা গাড়িতে করে মাঠের ধারে আমরা দাঁড়াই, অপেক্ষা করি, আমরা ব্রেড, বাটার, টমেটো, শসা, আমরা সামান্য ব্রেকফাস্ট আমরা সেগুলি খেয়েছি। এই সব স্মৃতিগুলো মনে পড়ছে বারবার ভক্তগণ। তারপর আমরা একসাথে লাইব্রেরিতে প্রচার করেছি। আমার একটা স্মৃতি মনে পড়ছে, ফ্র্যাঙ্কফুর্টের কাছে আমরা একটা নামহট্টে প্রোগ্রামে গিয়েছিলাম। তো সেখানে গেলে তারা আমাদেরকে একটু প্রসাদ দেয় এবং তারপর আমরা বিশ্রাম করি। তো বিশ্রামের পরে আমরা দুজনে শুয়ে আছি, শুয়ে বলতে কি পাশ ফিরে আছি, বাঁ পাশে ফিরে আছি প্রসাদের পরে। তো আমি তাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করলাম যে আপনি কি করে ভক্ত জীবনে এলেন মহারাজ? তো তিনি তখন বললেন কিভাবে তিনি কলকাতা মন্দির এসেছিলেন, তিনি গীতা খুঁজতে এসেছিলেন, গীতা ছিল না, তো তাকে একটা ভক্তি রসামৃত দিলেন, ভক্তি রসামৃত সিন্ধু গ্রন্থ দেওয়া হলো। তিনি সারা রাত ধরে তিনি ওই বই পড়েছেন, সেই বই পড়তে পড়তে ঘুমিয়ে পড়েছেন এবং তারপর তিনি সন্তুষ্ট হননি, ঘুমের থেকে উঠে আবার পড়তে লেগেছেন এবং তারপর তিনি সিদ্ধান্ত নিয়েছেন ইনি হচ্ছেন আমার সদ্গুরু, আমি তার শ্রীচরণে আশ্রয় নেব। তারপর তিনি মায়াপুরে এসেছেন, মায়াপুরে এসে তিনি একটা নাপিতকে ডেকেছেন, তিনি মস্তক মুন্ডন করেছেন, তার যে পুরানো কাপড় চোপড় ছিল সেগুলো সব দোলা বেঁধেছেন, বেঁধে গঙ্গায় ভাসিয়ে দিয়েছেন। ভক্তগণ, এটাও এক ধরনের মৃত্যু। আপনার জীবন, আপনার সারা জীবনের অভ্যাস, সেগুলিকে সম্পূর্ণ পরিত্যাগ করে নতুন এক জীবনের মধ্যে প্রবেশ করা, এও এক ধরনের মৃত্যু। কিন্তু তিনি সেই ত্যাগ স্বীকার করেছেন এবং শ্রীল প্রভুপাদের শ্রীচরণে আশ্রয় গ্রহণ করেছেন। এইভাবে তিনি যখন একদিন দেখেন যে হরিশৌরী প্রভু শ্রীল প্রভুপাদকে মালিশ দিচ্ছেন, তো শিল প্রভুপাদের ঘরে তিনি গেলেন কিছু হিন্দি বাংলা চিঠি অনুবাদ করে দেওয়ার জন্য। প্রভুপাদ তাকে বললেন এই উত্তর দাও। তারপরে যখন সেই সেবা হয়ে গেল তবুও সেখান থেকে তিনি আর যাচ্ছেন না, তো তিনি যেতে চাননি। তখন শিল প্রভুপাদ তাকে বলছেন, মাত্র এই একটা জীবন কৃষ্ণকে দিতে পারো না? এই একটা জীবন কৃষ্ণকে দাও। কত কত জীবন ইন্দ্রিয় উপভোগ করার চেষ্টা করেছো, কিন্তু তোমরা সন্তুষ্ট হওনি। এই একটা জীবন কৃষ্ণকে দিয়ে দেখো। তো মহারাজ এইভাবে বললেন। মহেশ পণ্ডিতের বাড়ির ওখানে প্রভুপাদ গেছেন, সেখানকার শ্রীপাঠ থেকে নিমন্ত্রণ করতে এসেছিল বলে প্রভুপাদের সেই জাম রঙের অ্যাম্বাসেডর গাড়িতে করে গেছেন, প্রায় মায়াপুর থেকে 50 কিলোমিটার দূরে হবে। সেই গ্রামে গিয়ে তিনি গ্রামবাসীদের বলছেন যে যারে দেখো তারে কহ কৃষ্ণ উপদেশ, আমার আজ্ঞায় গুরু হইয়া তার এই দেশ। এই প্রচার করতে শ্রী চৈতন্য মহাপ্রভু উপদেশ করেছেন, তাই সবাই প্রচার করতে পারে এবং আমাদেরকে কোথাও যেতে হবে না। যে যেমন ভাবে পারেন প্রচার করতে পারেন, যার যতটুকু ক্ষমতা, যে যতটুকু উঠতে পারেন। কেউ উঠোনের মধ্যে উঠতে পারেন, কেউ হয়তো পরবর্তী গ্রামে উঠতে পারেন, কেউ হয়তো সমুদ্র পাড়ি দিতে পারেন, কেউ হয়তো মহাদেশ উঠতে পারেন। যার যতটুকু ক্ষমতা সেইভাবে শ্রীমন মহাপ্রভুর বাণী প্রচার করুন এবং এইভাবে মহারাজের ধারাকে অব্যাহত রাখুন, চালিত রাখুন, জীবিত রাখুন। হরে কৃষ্ণ।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. And thank you, Indra Sachinandan Swami. Indradumna Maharaj is online and waiting to speak. Please go ahead, Indradumna Maharaj, and let's get Maharaj on the screen, please.
পরবর্তী বক্তা শ্রী শ্রীমৎ ইন্দ্রদুম্ন স্বামী মহারাজ।
There he is. Thank you, Maharaj. Please go ahead.
Maharaj, Indradumna Maharaj, please, you can start now speaking.
Sachinandan Swami, Indradumna Maharaj is online.
Oma Gyan Timirandasya Gyan Ganashalakaya Chaksurimilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhube Vacha Prititanam Pavanevyo Vaishnave Namo Namaha. Dear devotees in Mayapur and around the world, I imagine, I would like to thank all of you for this opportunity to speak today at your memorial program for our very dear Bhakti Caru Maharaj, who has departed, I would say, untimely. Like many of you, I'm still in a state of disbelief that Maharaj is no longer with us. It's very hard for me to imagine our ISKCON movement without him. Movement means people, and it's the people that are important. And one time Srila Prabhupada said, any program is only as good as the person or the persons who are heading it up. We've lost a valuable general. The irony of it all for me is that when His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami passed away suddenly in March 2002, I met with Bhakti Caru Maharaj soon after, and he said the very same thing to me. He said he was in a state of disbelief that TKG was gone, and he couldn't imagine ISKCON without him. And then Maharaj quoted a verse very softly, as if to himself, but it's a verse I knew, and as a result I could relate to. Dukamadya kona dukahaya gurutara Krishna bhakta yaha vina duka nahi deki para. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, of all kinds of distress, what is the most painful? And Sri Ramananda Roy replied, apart from separation from the devotee of Krishna, I know no unbearable unhappiness. Devotees of the Lord are special because just by their very presence, they remind us of Krishna. How is that? Because devotees' whole lives are dedicated to glorifying Krishna. Everywhere they go, they're thinking of Krishna, they're serving Krishna, they're glorifying Krishna. So many times people see a devotee, they say, oh Hare Krishna. So by their very life, devotees remind us of Krishna. Satatam kirtayantamam yatantasta viravrataha mayantascha mam bhakta nityayukta upashate. Krishna says in the Gita, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. But the very, very special nature of Bhakti Caru Maharaj was that by his presence, he always reminded us of Srila Prabhupada. I've always been a fan of Maharaj's lectures. He was a brilliant speaker, one of my favorite speakers, and I nourished my Bhakti Lata Creeper by hearing from him on a regular basis. And those of you who also followed his talks, you'll know without a doubt that his favorite topic was Srila Prabhupada. Am I right? His favorite topic was Srila Prabhupada. It pervaded all of his lectures. It pervaded everything Maharaj did. When you looked at him, you thought he had the best epitaph that anyone could have in this movement, and many of our men and ladies have this definition. He was a Prabhupada man, through and through. His personalities, his deeds, his mission. One time I was present when Tamal Krishna Goswami gave a lecture on Shiradakshayi Vishnu. And he was about 1/4 of the way through that lecture when he very expertly, poetically, and devotionally started weaving in the theme of Sankirtan. And he concluded his lecture, it was a 2-hour lecture, that all of us should do book distribution. He took a lecture on Shiradakshayi Vishnu and he turned it into a Sankirtan talk. And afterwards he told me with a smile, he said, Indraduna Maharaj, I can turn any class into a Sankirtan class. So in a similar way, His Holiness Bhakti Caru Maharaj's love for and intense dedication to Srila Prabhupada always shone forth in his lectures. Not only his lectures, but even when speaking with him, you'd always feel Prabhupada's presence. He really was the personification of a devotee keeping Prabhupada in the center. And we must honor Maharaj by following that example in keeping Prabhupada in the forefront of our movement. There's not so much time, I know we have 5 or 10 minutes, but I also wanted to thank Maharaj for being the perfect gentleman that he was. When I think of Bhakti Caru Maharaj, I think of a Bhakta gentleman. Not in the worldly sense, but rather a perfect representative of our Krishna conscious culture. We have a unique culture, even amongst various spiritual movements, we have a unique spiritual culture. We all agree it's the best. You could even say that our spiritual culture, it's a spiritual culture of Bengal in many ways. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he chose to appear in Bengal, and he spread our movement there through a specific style that the Bengali people could easily relate to, and they imbibed into their culture, chanting the names of the Lord, dancing in ecstasy, feasting on Bhagavat Prasadam. And I think that our movement has spread in part due to the Bengali sweets. No other part of India has so many sweets like Bengal does, and this is a movement where we're distributing the mercy of prasadam. So you understand what I'm saying about Bengali culture. And our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, imbibed all that when he appeared in this world. And I feel that his spiritual son, Bhakti Caru Maharaj, perfectly carried on that tradition. He was always impeccably dressed in dhoti, kurta, and tapis. I never even saw his clothes wrinkled. I know when I was in Prabhupada's presence, a number of times I traveled with Prabhupada, we'd get off the plane and I'd look at me. I was like, Prabhupada, there were no wrinkles in his clothes. So Bhakti Caru Maharaj is always impeccably dressed, nice tilak, shaved head, and he sang the bhajans, which is such an integral part of your culture, Mayapur culture, our culture. He sang the bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur, Govinda Das, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so sweetly, but most importantly with devotion. Those bhajans are everywhere. I was even in a mall in London last year, and in the mall I heard a Bhakti Caru Maharaj bhajan playing in a mall. And he knew the Shastra and how to present it in a pleasing way. He had an advantage over many of us sannyasis, because he was Bengali and he could read the scripture and it just resonated with his heart, and he could chant the Bengali verses without embarrassment like I do. Such a perfect representative of our culture. He was an excellent cook, and he relished prasad. And he was so learned in all aspects of etiquette. I know whenever I visited him, he would greet me at the entrance to the yard or the house I was staying in, bring me in, offer obeisances, speak. And when I left, he'd walk me out to the frontier of the property. For me, that's so important that we maintain this culture. In so many ways, he carried our tradition, our spiritual culture, in a most exemplary way. And why is that important? Because Srila Prabhupada once said, we will take the world over by culture, Krishna conscious culture. You could say a combination between the Mayapuravasis and the Brajavasis. Because our acharyas, they went back and forth, as did Maharaj. And he was so kind to go around the world and share this culture with others. He was a very approachable person, a very friendly person. You felt comfortable. He was a good ambassador of the movement that Srila Prabhupada took to the West. And we are sorely missing him individually, collectively, and the world is also missing him, although they don't know. One last personal note. I must thank Maharaj for facilitating my getting some very rare and special mercy from one of Srila Prabhupada's well-wishing godbrothers. BP Puri Maharaj, whose samadhi is actually just down the road from our Mayapur complex. In the 1980s, BP Puri Maharaj was getting old, and he was looking for a sannyasi to give a very special Nishringa mantra to. He had received this mantra, one of 10 sannyasis in the Gaudiya Math. He'd received that mantra directly from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had received that mantra from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And I was told that Shringadev gave that mantra to Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Puri Maharaj was getting old, and he wanted to, as we do, pass things on. So he wanted to pass this mantra on. And somehow he felt inclined to give it to a sannyasi in ISKCON. He very much appreciated what our Srila Prabhupada did. So somehow Bhakti Caru Maharaj heard of Puri Maharaj's wish to give the mantra to a sannyasi. And apparently he went and met with him. And then one day during the Mayapur festival in 1984, Bhakti Caru Maharaj approached me and he asked if I would be interested in getting this mantra from Puri Maharaj. I was like stunned. I'd only been a sannyasi for 5 years. And my first reaction was, I said, Maharaj, in every way you're senior to me. Why don't you take the mantra? And I'll never forget, he looked at me with this smile and he said, no, Indradumna Maharaj, I thought of you first. This is friendship. This is love. When you think of the interest of someone beyond your own self. So then I said, but Maharaj, would the GBC agree? He said, I'll ask them. So the next day after some GBC meetings, Bhakti Caru Maharaj came up to me and he said, under the circumstances, the GBC agree. So he arranged for me for another devotee to take me to see Puri Maharaj at his ashram. And Puri Maharaj initiated me into that mantra. And I remember Puri Maharaj saying to me, he said very clearly, this mantra can protect you from death. Just shook me. He said, this mantra can protect you from death. And as I look back on my life, I see that it has protected me many times over. I passed through 3 cancers where the doctor said there was no chance. So today I'm thinking, but what if Maharaj had taken that mantra? He might very well be with us today. So I'm thinking in a very deep way that, in a sense, he sacrificed for me, and I will honor that sacrifice by trying to imbibe all the many wonderful qualities that I saw in him and I see with him, and I'm sure he's carrying on to his next adventure with Srila Prabhupada. Or Prabhupada may have very well placed him under the care of a devotee in Goloka Vrindavan. But I will remember him and try to imbibe his spirit of love for Prabhupada and Prabhupada's mission of always sharing our good fortune with others. And I look forward to the day that when I do leave this body, I will meet Maharaj again and serve our beloved spiritual master with him. I thank all of you very much for this wonderful opportunity to glorify Maharaj. And I'll finish here. Bhakti Caru Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shanyam Sankirtanya ki, Go.
Yep, Maharaj.
Should I begin?
Yeah, please, go ahead, Maharaj. Thank you.
Niranjan Maharaj now.
Yes, I should begin.
Maharaj, 1 second, let us get you on the screen. Just give us a minute.
Okay.
Maharaj, please begin.
Okay, thank you. First, I'd like to offer my obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Jnana Timirandasya Garanjana Salakaya Chakshu Onmanitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I'll try not to speak long. I realize you have a lot of devotees who want to share their memories of Srila Bhakti Caru Swami with all of us. I'm very eager to hear from them, and as well as I'm sure many of the other devotees who are attending this event are. I do have some memories of Srila Bhakti Caru Maharaj I would like to share. I know that many devotees will cover many of his wonderful qualities that he embodied in terms of his devotion and dedication to Srila Prabhupada and to Srila Prabhupada's mission. And there's unlimited qualities and characteristics that he displays in that vein. But I would prefer to utilize this time allotted to me to describe the impact that my association with Srila Bhakti Caru Swami has had on me. Although it wasn't extensive, it was substantial to the point that it had a deep impression on me and in my heart. And I think that if someone like myself had such deep impression with the little association I did have, although I did associate with him a lot, but I'm just going to speak about a few encounters that I had with him. I can just imagine disciples, God brothers, humanity, how they were impacted by their association with Bhakti Caru Maharaj. The one characteristic that stands out in my mind the most is his attentiveness to details. There's an expression I oftentimes think of, that love is in the details. It's oftentimes used in many different circles. But I think about that with respect to Bhakti Caru Maharaj, because he was so attentive to details that it became obvious that anyone who exchanged any kind of exchange with him, it became substantial because he was just so attentive to the person he was with. Govinda Maharaj very nicely expressed that in his offering. Indradumna Maharaj also very nicely expressed it, especially in terms of his personal caring and selfless desire to make Indradumna Maharaj feel very relevant. I believe that's what I've experienced in Srila Bhakti Caru Maharaj's association, is that in his association, I just felt very relevant. And he made you feel that way. And I'll cite a few examples of that, but because of that quality in him, it oftentimes makes me think of the verse of the Bhagavatam Svasyastu Vishwasya Kalapasidatam, where Prahlad Maharaj describes that there be good fortune throughout the whole universe, and may all envious persons become pacified, may all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga, because by accepting devotional service, they will think of others' welfare. I think about that when I think of Bhakti Caru Maharaj, that here is a person who is so much embodied devotion to Prabhupada, devotion to Krishna, devotion in everything that he did, that he could think genuinely of my welfare, although I didn't really in any way warrant such attention from him, but he gave it to me. Even so far as even to treating me like a senior. He would oftentimes say that he would approach me and say, you know, you are my senior. And I would say, Maharaj, come on, please be serious. I maybe joined a few years before you, but in all respects, and you're my senior in your behavior, your dedication, your qualities, your consciousness. But still, in fact, yesterday I needed some succour. I was really suffering by remembering Bhakti Caru Maharaj's example. And I called Radhanath Maharaj. We were on the phone for 2 hours yesterday, he was massaging my heart. And he was telling me that he had the same experience with Bhakti Caru Maharaj. That Bhakti Caru Maharaj would treat him as superior. And he said the only way he could balance it out is he always treated Bhakti Caru Maharaj like his guru. And somehow things balanced. He said by that kind of exchange. But that was one thing that I remember in my exchanges with Bhakti Caru Maharaj. And there are many things I can say, and as I said, of these personal exchanges, and I hope by expressing these personal exchanges above his role in our ISKCON society, it can impress upon the devotees who had his personal association to take those jewels of that attention he would give to everyone and let those jewels carry you in your devotional service here in this world and beyond, because those jewels are actually such a valuable, substantial experience that they're capable of carrying, as I know they have carried me. So, of course, I could speak about his details, love in the details, and the way he was always very attentive in his distribution of prasadam. Because I've known Bhakti Caru Maharaj for many years, he would always invite me to come and take prasadam. One of the things he loved to do was to host his god brothers and to serve them. But not always could I relish. Sometimes it was quite heavy, and because he knew my digestion issues, he would always be conscientious to make sure, not always, but a lot of the time, to make sure there was something there that I could digest. And one example of his attentiveness to details. Another example, which really had a very deep impression on me, was when I went to the installation and the opening of the Ujjain temple. And I went there along with many god brothers. I wanted to be there and to give my support to Bhakti Caru Maharaj and for his sincere efforts that he made to establish that temple and to install the worship of Shri Madam Mohan. I believe it was in 2006. And one thing that stands out in my mind so much, and I'll never forget it, is that I was sitting in the temple room, the installation was about to take place, and Bhakti Caru Maharaj came up to me, of all people, and said, Maharaj, will you take place in the take part in the installation and please bathe Srimati Radharani and take part of this installation ceremony? And I said, I was shocked, Maharaj, there's so many other senior devotees here more qualified. And maybe you might think of somebody else you might like to do it. And he said, just like what Indraduna Maharaj said, no, I want you to do it. Will you do it? And yeah, how can you refuse? So it was a very profound experience for me, that opportunity to take part in that installation, his humble, simple, and assertive request that he wanted me to do it. And I just remember taking part. I'll never forget, Govinda Maharaj was leading the most wonderful kirtan, Jai Radha Madhava. I was taking the essential oils and I was rubbing them to Srimati Radharani, and my services were I just felt so relevant. Although I know that I'm not so relevant, but he just had a way of making you feel relevant. And there's much more I could say about that event, but I know my time is limited. I would like to say one other experience I had about Bhakti Caru Maharaj and how he was attentive to details and made me feel very relevant. This was very recently. And in our GBC meetings, many of the GBCs, all the GBCs were asked actually to please take 5 minutes and to speak on whatever topic they wanted to speak on in relationship to, this was a couple of years ago, it wasn't recently, but in relationship to Vaishnavi Diksha Gurus. And it was my turn to speak, and I chose to take that time which was allotted to me to not speak so much about this way or that way or anything else. I just felt that I wanted to speak about something which I felt was important to me, and hopefully it may be relevant to those who would listen to me. And I decided to speak about respect, because one of the concerns I was feeling at that time is that I was hoping that whatever the outcome would be, whatever went in just prior to the decisions which would inevitably come, and what to speak of subsequent to whatever decisions were made, I just hoped that the senior-most leaders of our society could offer their respects and accept in a very respectful way those who may have a differing opinion than they had. And I chose to cite various Shastric references from the Sandarbhas. I quoted Jiva Goswami, where he talked about respect, and he actually defined disrespect as to be intentionally to cause pain to another living being. And I gave that as an example. I gave other examples. I don't want to give all the examples, because if I did, it would be 5 minutes, which is what I took. And then I ended my talk pretty much on that basis. And then we moved on to the next person to speak. And although I'm not saying this in any kind of judgmental way, that others, I'm sure, had a lot of important things on their mind. But the one person who came up to me and took my hand and embraced me and said to me, "Thank you so much, Maharaj, for speaking about such an important topic." He was the only one, and I'm sure others had felt it was important, but he went out of his way to make me feel relevant. That's Bhakti Caru Maharaj in all respects, in his dealings with everyone. And how can you not love, and how can you not miss the association of such a Vaishnava with such a heart? It is a terrible loss to the world and to our society. And I simply pray that the devotees who've been touched in the ways similar to the way I have been touched, and I'm sure there are thousands of them, please let those jewels of your association with Srila Bhakti Caru Maharaj carry you forward in your service to him and service to Srila Prabhupada's mission, of which was most important for Srila Bhakti Caru Maharaj. He made so many sacrifices for one reason only, because he loved Srila Prabhupada, and I am convinced of that. Thank you for this opportunity to share my realizations about him. I could say more, but I know others are waiting to speak. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Bhakti Caru Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Caru Maharaj ki jai.
We just need to get him up on the screen, and then he can go ahead and... What's going on? Can you put him on the screen? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribo, am I
There he is. Jai
supposed to be beginning now? Or, huh?
Thank you so much, Niranjan Maharaj. Next speaker will be Lokanath Maharaj. We will set you up, Maharaj, and then we will let you know when to start speaking.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. You can start speaking now.
My obeisances to all the assembled devotees, especially and to Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaja's lotus feet. And I'm confident by now his feet are lotus feet. Yaktva anyatha rupam swarupena vivasyapi. That he has attained his swarup. He's back with Srila Prabhupada and with Krishna, his beautiful form with beautiful lotus feet. So I offer my obeisances unto those lotus feet of Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaj. Thank you for this opportunity also to say a few words about Bhakti Caru Maharaj. Well, time is limited, so we could only say few words, although there could be lots of words, and his glories are unlimited. And I think right now, the whole world, or Bhakti Caru Maharaj has become not just a talk of town, Mayapur town, but has become talk of the whole world, like a Ebeyash Gushuk Tribhuvan. His glories have spread all over the world, and the whole world is talking and hearing, and then remembering. So this festival that you have organized here in Mayapur is Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaja Smarana Utsava to remember. So as we hear and talk and hear, we remember. Then as we remember, it becomes very difficult to talk also. Our voice becomes choked up and emotions aroused as we hear, talk and remember Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaj. Yanilo Premadhan Karuna Prachur Kotha Gela Bhakti Caru Thakur. That personality who brought and well, he received that from Srila Prabhupada and distributed Prem Dhan all over the world. But I would say that Prem Dhan was not just Krishna Prem Dhan, but Bhakta, Vaishnava Prem Dhan he distributed, shared with the world. Hari Hari. Bhakti Caru Maharaj, he got Prabhupadized, we say Krishnaized, but I would say he got Prabhupadized so very quickly. We had more times, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years before Prabhupada departed, say 10, 11 years. Bhakti Caru Maharaj had only 10 months with Srila Prabhupada. And in that very short period of time, he became so much Prabhupada conscious. He had like a marathon or intense association with Srila Prabhupada day and night. From the time it was in Kumbh Mela, I remember in 77, he had come from Mayapur, especially to meet Srila Prabhupada, and that meeting took place. Bhavanand Maharaj arranged that meeting between Bhakti Caru, I don't know his previous name. So from that time onwards, he became Prabhupada's man. Just on the train from Allahabad, Prayag, where Kumbh Mela was held, from there to Kolkata, Bhakti Caru Maharaj came in very close contact, and Prabhupada found out he was, of course, born in Bengal, Bengali speaker. Prabhupada immediately assigned him service of the translation of his books into Bengali language, and that became his offering, Maharaj's offering. When we had a centennial, 1996, by that time, all Prabhupada's books, Bhakti Caru Maharaj had translated into Bengali language. He was so much into Prabhupada consciousness. He was the one who thought of making a documentary of Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Charan. He wanted to share his Prabhupada with the rest of the world in a very beautiful manner. very appealing manner. The TV, the documentary, the cinema. And hero was Srila Prabhupada. Well, from Prayag, they went back to Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada also was there for some time. Bhakti Caru Maharaj always informs us, I know. Prabhupada made him a secretary of Indian affairs. I don't really understood exactly what that meant, but Prabhupada wanted him to take charge of Indian affairs in India. So he became kind of secretary, also occasional secretary, doing correspondence, Hindi correspondence or Bengali correspondence. He kind of was like a shadow of Prabhupada. Wherever Prabhupada went, Bhakti Caru accompanied him. I mean, in same year, he became Bhakti Caru Das, and then second initiation, sannyas initiation. He was being bombarded with ocean of mercy. That's why he wrote that book, Maharaj, Ocean of Mercy. He felt that Prabhupada was showering so much mercy upon him. Upon reaching Bombay, the plans were made to, Prabhupada was not well. So Prabhupada traveled to Rishikesh with only a handful of his disciples. Yeah, and Bhakti Caru Maharaj became a part of that entourage traveling to Rishikesh. So, of course, there were thousands of us all over, but he was chosen by Srila Prabhupada to be with him, to take care of him, especially cook for him, and serve him in so many different, intimate ways. So, then devotees would take turn to be with Prabhupada, especially during night times. So one night, Srila Prabhupada was on his bed, and he said, Bhakti Caru, and he rushed to Prabhupada's bed and near. And Prabhupada said, bring me to Vrindavan. It appears the time has come for me to leave. So then Tamal Krishna Maharaj also was informed, and they made arrangement for Prabhupada to come to Vrindavan. So devotees, as they had found out what Prabhupada was planning to leave us behind, leave them behind. So they were devastated, crying and praying. And Prabhupada said, the death is imminent. We know what Prabhupada used to say. Even Krishna comes and Krishna leaves. So why not me? I have come, so I will also leave. Prabhupada was trying to preach and pacify his followers. Now I'm also sharing this because today, as I was thinking, what would I talk? And I had a lot of other things that I was thinking of talking, but then I received Bhakti Caru Maharaja's last talk as he has arrived from India, and he is now in D-Land, in Florida. I suppose that was his arrival speech or something. And guess what? He's, as Indra Maharaj said, his favorite topic of the talk was Srila Prabhupada. And he's talking about Prabhupada. And what is he talking about? He said, Prabhupada taught us how to conquer death. And all that I just said, this was said by Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaja, Prabhupada, and Bhakti Caru Maharaj in Rishikesh, and Prabhupada saying, time for me to leave, bring me to Vrindavan. And then Prabhupada giving that talk in Vrindavan, addressing his disciples. All this was said to the assembled devotees in D-Land, Florida. Just few days prior to he got hospitalized. I thought he was, here's some clue or indication that he was getting ready to leave also. And the way he was talking, he was addressing assembled devotees. So he addressed assembled devotees indirectly through the mouth of Srila Prabhupada. He was talking. So he was so much Prabhupada conscious, and last speech that he gave also was full of Prabhupada consciousness. Hari Hari. Well, the last talk I had with Maharaj, some days before he left for America. One fine, well, I think that was day, Maharaj called me on the phone. And I was surprised and pleased to receive his call. And he had just watched the documentary called Lost Village, which is about me and my village where I was born. And he said, Maharaj, I got to know you more as I was watching this documentary. And then he was glorifying the simple living and natural living and growing up in countryside. And we were talking how there should be revived and there should be more propagation, more promotion of that kind of lifestyle. So we talked and talked, and at the end, we also talked about, we said we should be talking more often, Maharaj, over the phone. And that is what we had decided. We'll talk more often on the phone. And also would meet more often on, face to face. So that was the last talk I had with Bhakti Caru Maharaj, and we have that resolution of meeting again and again and talking again and again, associating with each other. But I suppose, as we know, what has transpired, and that is not going to be possible, or that would be only possible on another plane. Anyway, I will just say one last thing, was that I found out the day Maharaj left us behind, one devotee, Pran Govind, he was rushing to the hospital, and I managed to speak to him on the phone. And he asked me, Maharaj, do you have any message for Bhakti Caru Maharaj? And he said he's going to manage to speak to, he will put a phone to his ears, and he's going to speak to Maharaj. So I said, yes, if you could manage, just tell Maharaj, please do not leave us. please come back and stay with us longer. Give us your association, your friendly association. But then I also said, if Krishna does not want that to happen, Krishna has other plans. Then tell Bhakti Caru Maharaj that please leave happily with no anxiety. Joyfully you could go to Krishna. And we will take care of his followers, his disciples, his zone, all the responsibilities. We will take them on our shoulders. So that was my last communication. I am not sure whether that reached Bhakti Caru Maharaj, but that is the last thing I conveyed to Bhakti Caru Maharaj. Bhakti Caru Swami Maharaj ki Lord Prayamanandi.
We have Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who's ready to speak. We just need to get him on the screen. He's ready. And while we're waiting for that, we were expecting to be able to hear from some of the devotees who are here with us. These Maharajas are all over the world, and they heard we were having a Shravan Utsava, and they wanted to join us. And since they're joining internationally on Zoom, it's hard to control the time that they spoke. So most of them spoke longer than we expected, and so time is going on. But I do remind you that we will meet
again. Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurmilitanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare. Hare Krishna. Can you all hear me clearly? Okay. Bhakti Caru Maharaj was one of the most fortunate devotees. Of course, we are all fortunate to come to Krishna consciousness, but he was especially fortunate because he got his first and second initiation and third initiation just a few months later. Devotees were wondering at that time. We have to wait for. Can you all hear me clearly? Yes. They were saying we have to wait for years and years, but Bhakti Caru got all his initiations very fast. So Bhakti Caru Swami got influenced by Prabhupada's books when he read this Nectar Devotion. He was looking for a spiritual guide. Someone gave him a book, Nectar Devotion. And after he read that book, he decided, this is what I should be doing. He is my guru. And he took the proper instructions very, very seriously. We all know that he served as Prabhupada's servant. And at that time when he joined, we didn't have any books in Bengali, or very few. Bhakti Caru was very creative. He researched, he found Prabhupada's articles in Bengali that have not been published. He published all those in a book called Gita Gyan. And then Prabhupada gave him this responsibility of translating his books in Bengali language. And Bhakti Caru took this assignment very, very seriously. I understand that he used to get up at 12 o'clock in the night to start translating these books till morning. This was his dedication. And Prabhupada was very, very pleased by seeing Bhakti Caru's dedication. And they made a goal that by the centennial year, we should have all the proper books ready in Bengali. And with Bhakti Caru Swami's supervision, all the proper books were ready by centennial. Bhakti Caru has numerous achievements. Of course, this is one of his main achievements, translating Prabhupada's books. He built his temple in Ujjain in a period of 10 months. In India, we've all built many temples, but nobody has ever built a temple in 10 months. I told Bhakti Caru Swami, we should give you a special award for building the fastest temple. And it's a beautiful temple, beautifully designed, and beautiful deities, etc. This was a major achievement. Then, as you probably know, Bhakti Caru Swami, very creative. He was thinking of ways of Prabhupada's glories to be broadcasted. And he came up with the unique idea of making a serial for the life of Prabhupada. I believe it was 100 serials that were produced featuring Prabhupada's Leela from the time he appeared on the planet. And initially, it was just being distributed among his devotees. But then by Bhakti Caru's hard work and determination, he was able to convince Doordarshan. Doordarshan was a national channel at that time to broadcast. And as a result of that, millions of people in India who didn't know much about Prabhupada were exposed to Prabhupada and it became Krishna consciousness. He was very creative and he had many ideas how to spread Krishna consciousness. Another feature of his is that he organized the production of deities and altars, etc. Devotees in India were, devotees all over the world were having a hard time getting reliable suppliers. And Bhakti Caru Swami organized this and made it available to devotees at very, very reasonable rates. So, Prabhupada gave us a philosophy, and Bhakti Caru Swami took this philosophy and presented it everywhere. Bhakti Caru Swami was noted for being extremely friendly with everyone. I met many devotees, and I haven't met one devotee who ever said the Maharaj was not polite and sweet with him. In my relationship with him, he was overkind. He appreciated the way Krishna consciousness has spread in Delhi. And he was always very kind and generous. And Bhakti Caru Swami was friendly, polite, and he was always ready to help others.
This is the quality of a Vaishnava. And he was also very powerful preacher, scholar, and he had the knack of preaching to intellectuals and people from the higher sections of society. ISKCON wasn't so successful in preaching to the higher sections of society. Bhakti Caru Swami did a good job. He cultivated high-class people all over the world. And he was regularly traveling all over the world. Now, we know that Bhakti Caru Swami was very kind, encouraging, etc. As his followers, what should we do? Prabhupada dedicates the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam to his spiritual master. And he says, he lives forever by divine instruction, and the follower lives with him. The pure spiritual master manifests himself in two ways, Vapu and Vani. Vapu, we all know, is temporary. It's there today, more is going to go. Vani is eternal. So Prabhupada wanted us to follow his Vani. Similarly, disciples of Bhakti Caru Swami, they should not feel left out. Bhakti Caru Swami's instructions are there, and his instructions are 100% similar to Prabhupada's instructions. Bhakti Caru was very, very strict on the principle of ISKCON, staying in ISKCON, and working together. But Bhakti Caru Swami regularly told, he would quote Prabhupada's statement, your love for me will be shown by how you cooperate. So he wanted us to cooperate. He wanted us to work together. And in all his lectures, darshans, classes, we saw this theme coming out. Love for me will be shown how we cooperate. So in ISKCON, the devotees from all over the world, and they have different opinions, but our goal should be to work together. And if somebody can't work together, then that will create a disturbance. So Bhakti Caru Swami emphasized this point. Even in the initiations that he gave, he would point out that these initiations are on behalf of Prabhupada. In other words, he tried to inject Prabhupada's consciousness, Prabhupada's position everywhere. So as his disciples, no doubt we are all aggrieved that Maharaj has departed. Frankly, no one expected him to depart so fast. We all participated in the Indian Bureau meeting just 3 weeks, just about 4 weeks ago, right before he left for America. And we also had an exchange in that meeting. So, and we were all shocked when we heard about his illness that subsequently led to his departure. As followers, we should follow Bhakti Caru Swami's teachings. He wanted everyone to stay within ISKCON. He wanted everyone to work together. He wanted everyone to follow the GBC body. And he wanted everyone to dedicate themselves to Prabhupada's teaching. So, as followers, we should follow these instructions. And if we follow these instructions, you will feel Bhakti Caru Swami's presence. And ISKCON often maintained like a joint family. Like in India, you used to have the joint family system where the father, uncle, cousins would all stay together under the same roof. So in ISKCON we have the father, namely the spiritual master, and uncles, his godbrothers and godsisters, all living together. So one is never isolated. One is never isolated. One is always in the association of uncles and aunties. And so the disciples of Bhakti Caru Swami should have no fear, no anxiety, because the uncles and aunts are there to look after all the devotees. So I'm happy you have come here today. Look, told me you must come. And I'm happy to hear Bhakti Caru Swami's glories. His glories are unlimited. We have limited time. And my contribution is going to be to try and preach, to take care of all his disciples that are in my zone. He has many disciples working with us in our zone to take care of them. And if we follow his instruction and proper instruction, then you will not miss Bhakti Caru's presence. Prabhupada said, I never missed my spiritual master's association even for a minute, because he was always engaged in following his instructions. Bhakti Caru Swami was an intellectual. He was a very powerful preacher. He gave very philosophical lessons, and was a very sweet singer. In fact, he is a favorite singer of mine and many other devotees around the world. He used to sing very nice bhajans, and he attracted a lot of people to Krishna consciousness. So we hope that all his followers will take his instructions to seriously, and Bhakti Caru's memory will always be there. We all come here under Krishna's plan. Krishna's plan is not easy to understand all the time, but we come here under Krishna's plan and we depart also according to Krishna's plan. So his departure was a little tragic, but that's Krishna's plan. And I'm sure that Bhakti Caru Swami, with his dedication to Prabhupada and the hard work that he has put, Prabhupada is very pleased, and he is preaching according to Prabhupada's plan in some other part of the world. Bhakti Caru Swami ki Hare Krishna. Hi, Bo.
I just want to give Shadadanya Prabhu the opportunity to speak a little bit. He was there from the day that Maharaj stepped in the door of ISKCON, and and I apologize to others who haven't had the opportunity to speak as yet, but please join us tomorrow. There won't be any Zoom It'll only be local devotees, senior devotees speaking. So I'm going to pass the mic to Shadadanya Prabhu.
হরে কৃষ্ণ। তো এখন শতধন্য প্রভু বলবেন। আমরা ক্ষমা প্রার্থী যে অনেক ভক্তরা তারা বলতে চেয়েছিলেন কিন্তু তারা বলার সুযোগ পাননি, কিন্তু দয়া করে আগামীকাল আসবেন। এই ভক্তরা যারা জুমের মাধ্যমে বললেন তাদের বক্তৃতাগুলি বাংলায় অনুবাদ আমরা শ্রবণ করব, প্লাস এখন আমরা শেষে শতধন্য প্রভুর শ্রীমুখ থেকে শ্রবণ করব। শতধন্য প্রভু উপস্থিত ছিলেন যখন প্রথম থেকে এই ভক্তি চারু স্বামী মহারাজ ইস্কনে এসেছিলেন।
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatcha Deshaharine. Suji, can you hear? You can hear? I'll be very brief.
আমি অত্যন্ত সংক্ষেপে বলবো।
When Bhakti Caru Maharaj first came both to Calcutta and to Mayapur,
যখন ভক্তি চারু মহারাজ প্রথম কলকাতা এবং মায়াপুরে আসেন,
I thought of the story Prabhupada told us that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur very much liked Aboy Charande, our Prabhupada.
আমার সেই ঘটনা মনে পড়েছিল যেখানে আমরা জানি যে ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী ঠাকুরের অভয় চরণকে খুবই ভালো লেগেছিল, যিনি হচ্ছেন আমাদের প্রভুপাদ।
Our Prabhupada would say that he's a Kolkata Chele.
আমার বলতেন, ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী ঠাকুর বলতেন যে এই ছেলেটি হচ্ছে কলকাতার ছেলে। প্রভুপাদকে বলতেন
Kolkata Chele means educated, sophisticated, and very pious, very devotional.
কলকাতা ছেলে মানে হচ্ছে শিক্ষিত, মার্জিত এবং অত্যন্ত পুণ্যবান।
And Prabhupada immediately cultivated him. When they went on the train to Kumbh Mela, Prabhupada looked at Bhakti Caru and said, "Tumi asho, edike bosho, next to me."
তো যখন তারা কুম্ভমেলা থেকে ফিরছিলেন ট্রেনে, তখন শিল প্রভুপাদ তাকে সঙ্গে সঙ্গে তাকে প্রচার করতে শুরু করলেন এবং তাকে বললেন, তুমি কাছে এসো, তুমি আমার পাশে এসে বসো।
So I became very close to him. I recognized in him a great potential.
আমি খুব তাড়াতাড়ি করে তার কাছাকাছি বা তার খুব ঘনিষ্ঠ হতে পেরেছিলাম এবং আমি তার মধ্যে সেই যে তেজ আমি দেখতে পেয়েছিলাম যে তার মধ্যে অনেক গুণ রয়েছে যেগুলি ভবিষ্যতে তার মধ্যে প্রচণ্ড পটেনশিয়াল রয়েছে।
And very kindly he would always tell me, even in recent years, that you were my first mentor. You know mentor?
তো তিনি অত্যন্ত দয়াশীলভাবে আমাকে অনেক সময় বলতেন যে আপনি ছিলেন আমার প্রথম শিক্ষক।
Later, I strongly feel in all respects he became my mentor.
পরবর্তীতে আমি সব দিক দিয়ে আমি খুবই জোরালোভাবে অনুভব করতাম যে তিনি হচ্ছেন আমার শিক্ষক।
We also had the privilege to personally serve Prabhupada together in those last months in Vrindavan.
এবং আমাদেরও সেই পরম সৌভাগ্য হয়েছিল ওই শেষ কয়েকটি মাসে শ্রীল প্রভুপাদের একসাথে সেবা করার।
I'll just end with one short story. I would sit with Prabhupada, would take his prasad in that little room off his main sitting room.
তার প্রধান যে বসার ঘর, তার পাশে একটা ছোট্ট ঘর ছিল যেখানে বসে শ্রীল প্রভুপাদ প্রসাদ পেতেন। সেখানকার একটা ছোট্ট ঘটনা দিয়ে আমি শেষ করব।
And I would sit on the floor next to Prabhupada and we would wait for Bhakti Caru to bring in the prasad thali that he had cooked in the little kitchen, Prabhupada's kitchen.
আমি প্রভুপাদের পাশে বসে থাকতাম এবং আমরা অপেক্ষা করতাম ভক্তিচারু মহারাজ যখন সে প্রসাদের থালি তিনি প্রভুপাদের জন্য নিয়ে আসতেন যা তিনি সযত্নে রান্না করেছেন প্রভুপাদের জন্য।
So on this day, Bhakti Caru came in with this big plate of prasad, all the katoris with different sabjis.
তো এই দিনটাতে ভক্তিচারু তিনি তার সেই প্রসাদের বড় থালি সাজিয়ে নিয়ে এসেছেন বিভিন্ন রকমের সবজি বিভিন্ন বাটিতে করে সাজানো।
So when Bhakti Caru came in with the thali of prasad, then Prabhupada looked at him and smiled.
যখন ভক্তিচারু সেই প্রসাদের থালা নিয়ে এসেছেন তখন প্রভুপাদ তার দিকে দেখে মৃদু হাসলেন।
And he said out loud,
এবং তারপর তিনি সজোরে বললেন,
he said, "Ah, Bhakti Caru."
তারপর তিনি বললেন, ও ভক্তি চারু।
Bhakti Caru, the famous cook.
ভক্তি চারু বিখ্যাত রাঁধুনি।
Bhakti Caru Maharaja ki jai.
জয়।
Hare Krishna. So
Hare
thank you
Krishna.
all very much for your patience.
আপনাদের সকলের ধৈর্যের জন্য অশেষ ধন্যবাদ।
We'll finish here for tonight.
আজকের মতো আমরা এখানেই সমাপ্তি ঘোষণা করছি।
Tomorrow, please be present by 4:30.
দয়া করে সকলেই 4:30টার মধ্যে উপস্থিত থাকার চেষ্টা করবেন আগামীকাল।
We'll have kirtan.
আমাদের কীর্তন হবে।
And then we'll start again this Shravan Utsav.
তারপর আমরা আবার এই শ্রবণ উৎসব শুরু করব।
Srila Bhakti Caru Swami Shravan Utsava ki
জয়।
Srila Bhakti Caru Swami ki
জয়।
Gaur Premanandi.
হরি হরি বল।
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha
পতিতানাং
patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
আমাদের এই অনুষ্ঠানের মাস্টার অফ সেরেমনি এমসি শ্রীপাদ নরেশ্বর প্রভু যিনি হচ্ছেন শ্রী শ্রীমৎ ভক্তিচারু স্বামী গুরু মহারাজের একজন অত্যন্ত ঘনিষ্ঠ বন্ধু এবং গুরুভ্রাতা, আমরা তাকে সশ্রদ্ধ প্রণাম এবং আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ এবং কৃতজ্ঞতা জ্ঞাপন করি। হরে কৃষ্ণ। উই থ্যাংক ইউ শ্রীপাদ নরেশ্বর প্রভু হু ইজ এ ভেরি ক্লোজ ফ্রেন্ড অফ Srila Bhakti Caru Swami Guru Maharaj and his God brother. We thank you so much and we are grateful to you for being the MC for this wonderful ceremony. Hare Krishna. We would also like to hear from your lotus mouth some glorious pastimes of our Guru Maharaj tomorrow. অনুবাদ করতে দেননি তো। না এগুলো লাগবে। হ্যাঁ না 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 আমি এখন এগুলো গিয়ে আবার আরেকটু করে বেশি আমি এইটা নেব প্লাস আমি ইউটিউবে দেখবো দেখে আমি অনুবাদ করার চেষ্টা করব। অবশ্যই অবশ্যই না অবশ্যই প্রভু এগুলো সব আমি দেখবো দেখে আমি একটা কিছুতে রেকর্ডিং করবো অনুবাদ একদম অনুবাদ
चेतसाम् अव्यक्तहि गतिर्दुःख्यं देहो बुद्धिरवपते ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्यनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्तो उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसार